firstly. The purpose of this meeting...
There's a...
Yeah.
Shut it off. It's...
Wait, tell me.
You guys, are you guys all rolling?
Take one.
We're all rolling together. We are all together. Gentlemen and lady, thank you for coming today. The purpose of this conference is to inform the American public, hopefully through the media, of the cooperation and the consultation that we are having at Paramount in the filming of The Godfather with the League. The fact that they have been helpful to us, that we are working in concert with them to come out with a film that we believe will be highly entertaining and critically important. Beyond that, we're open for questions.
How are they working with you? What are they doing with you?
When we started pre-production on the film, we were approached by the League. We're actually the only Italian group to sit down with us and discuss the intent and content of the film. They were concerned about doing a film that would be slanderous to the Italians, which of course was not our intention. And through our discussions, we found a simple way to accommodate what they wanted.
And what is that way?
Firstly, we were omitting the words Cosa Nostra and Mafia. And secondly, what the movie is really about, and which was what I explained, and which they were sympathetic to. This is not a mafia movie. This is a movie about a minority group in this country. And it was important to present this film not as a film in any way that was an indictment of a minority group. The intent and the content is exactly the opposite. I think the book, and certainly what we will extend into film, is something that reflects a minority and a minority mentality and how that group, whatever that group may be, survives in this society.
Well, are you distorting the book at all?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Would you have made these changes for aesthetic reasons if the League hadn't come to you?
For aesthetic reasons, the content of our screenplay and what this movie will be was not altered at all by what the League asked for. The book and what we will extend into film is the story of people. It is not an indictment of a minority group. As a matter of fact, and certain things have been accented because of our contact with the League. But I think in fairness to the property, when you read it, it is an indictment, if it is an indictment, against a society, and I think it does not, there are people in the book and will be in the film that are Irish, who are not the most attractive people in the world. There are people who are Jewish, who are not the most attractive people in the world. There is a theme underlying the film and the book that I think most people will be very sympathetic for it.
Well,
and I think they will be very entertained by it.
Isn't one of the basic themes of the book what makes a gangster, what makes an underworld boss, a godfather, why within his own mind he thinks he's justified in what he does?
I think the throw of the book, and certainly the throw of the film, is a statement on groups living in this country. I think there are critical lines in the book, like when the Godfather tells Michael that one lawyer with an attaché case can steal more than 100 men with guns. I think he's making a statement on the American society, a very realistic statement on the American society.
Mr. Rudey, is there any doubt in your mind that this book is
Rudey, the book is fiction to begin with, and I think it is a wonderful thing when the Italian-American Civil Rights League can get together with Mr. Al Rudey and Paramount Pictures and not make the movie, which will be seen by millions of people, give gratuitous offense to the legend of the so-called Mafia and Cosa Nostra. I think because of the concern of Mr. Rudey and Paramount Pictures, this movie will not use these words, Mafia and Cosa Nostra, which have for so long defamed the Italian-American people. And we feel that maybe this will start a trend in the movie industry and with the news media to use words such as organized crime, which do not label any ethnic group in particular, but just, if a man is a criminal, label him a criminal, not by his ethnic background.
Mr. Colombo, had you any notion that they would use the words Cosa Nostra and Mafia in the first place?
I read the book, and I wrote a letter. The original contact with Paramount Pictures was that I wrote a letter myself to Mr. Bob Evans, who was the vice president of Paramount, and I requested that the words Mafia and Cosa Nostra not be used in the book, in the movie, and that this would not be just a wholesale slaughter on the Italian-American image, which now, working closely with Mr. Rudey, it will not be. It will be, as he says, a story of individuals.
Had you reason to believe that they would have used those words had you not intervened?
Yes, I would. I believe they would have used the words, because these words are used in the book.
Well, what about Mr. Puso, the author? Does he approve of eliminating these words?
I have not discussed it with Mr. Puzo because he has finished the screenplay, and he is now off to his next novel.
Did he use the words in the screenplay?
No, actually, again, this comes back to what this movie's about. I think if you go back and look at the book, the references to Mafia and Cosa Nostra are very, very minimal in the book and have, in that sense, nothing to do with what this story's about. I think there's a reason why this has become an important literary work and why it has had such enormous success and appeal. I think it should not, and I don't think it has been, categorized as a story, a mafia story, because I think anyone who sees it just on that level, I think is in a very vast minority.
Do you feel at all intimidated
By what?
by this action on the part of the Italian Civil Rights League?
Not only am I not intimidated, but they have been very helpful to me in physically setting up certain aspects of this production. Look, people in the motion picture business and in the media are fully aware of the responsibility they have today towards ethnic groups, towards minority groups, certainly Paramount Pictures, and which is a part of a major conglomerate, Gulf and Western, shares that sense of responsibility. There was never any intent to do that initially. I was more than happy to sit down with a group that was Italian, was concerned to the point of contacting us, to work with them, because a large portion of this country, probably 30 million people, are Italian of extraction.